Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Happy Wednesday before Thanksgiving. I hope you got your turkey defrosted now because if not, and remember the only safe way to defrost it is in the freezer. So if you haven't done that yet, you're going to be crying like a rat eating onions. All right, welcome to Royal Sussex, Lydia Washington, Sharon Chung, LDSW, Francilia Mosley, Black Queen, Connie Balmer, Rosa Roberts, Fancy, Compton Caligal, JSC. Oh, by the way, you guys, I didn't look at the card yet, but I've actually already made a cup. Someone sent delicious coffee from the wish list. Thank you so much. I am having a cup right now of the Javalier. Oh, that's the best coffee, Javalier. I love that. Okay, and welcome. Let's see, Deirdre Mikey, Beverly McCaskill with some big hellos. And who else? Friends. Yeah, I said that already. Rosa Roberts. Okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and scroll all the way down to the last because did I see Susie Q? Hi, Susie Q. Elaine Parker. Gwendolyn Daniels. Okay, so last hello is from Ozell Dunlap. I love that name, Ozell. Okay. I'm gonna skip everybody else because I'm already so late. I had an appointment this afternoon, and well, this morning, and I made it just in time. Actually, I had about 10 minutes to spare, and everything went very well. So that was good. Hmm. Mm-mm. Hello, Judy Rigo. Okay, so you guys probably saw this photo by now, or is it you guys have seen this photo already? This is Amanda Gorman. You may remember her from the lovely poem at President Joe Biden's inauguration. Um, this young poet really wowed the world with her words. And there seems to be a fine art of poetry which has not completely disappeared. Um, it certainly hasn't been replaced by, um, well, let's say some of the rap artists. As much as some young people seem to think there's no place for it. But I found out that a lot of young people not only enjoy poetry, but they're actually writing it as evident, right? There is a place in this world for the wonderful narrations of a poet. So thank you, Amanda Gorman. Well, she was actually spending time with the Duchess of Sussex while she was doing the archetypes, right? And she had a very small part in the archetypes yesterday. So I wouldn't be surprised if in the future that they're not working on something together, or perhaps there may be a more extended part for her with the or segment for her with the archetypes. Who knows for sure? You just never know because the Sussexes are doing so many amazing things um, as we speak, no doubt. So I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, you guys, let me see. I need to crank some air up here. All that running around, I done got hot. I done got hot. There we go. Do I feel that? 1 second. I hope that's not making too much noise. Can you guys hear that? I hope not. As a matter of fact, let me turn it down just in case. Okay. All right. Put it on a gentle mode. All right. Hello, Rosalind Gatewood. So, Archetypes came on again Tuesday, right? So, if you haven't heard it yet, Amanda Gorman, that lady that wrote Sex in the City. I'm sorry. Is it Bushnell or something like that? I don't remember her name. And of course, Michaela J. Rodriguez. Great show they had. Podcast. And here, beyond thrilled to have had the honor of speaking with the Duchess on her podcast, Archetypes, where we discuss the power that women possess as change makers. Thank you so much for having me. And Royal Suitor pointed out Amanda Gorman is an alum of the Get Lit Poet program in LA. Harry and Meghan met with young poets during a class in 2021 and featured their poetry as part of Archwell's Juneteenth commemoration later that year. So I tried and tried and tried to find the photo that I have from this screenshot, which this one is actually pretty dark, but I have that photo of them, and I could not find it before the live today. So I searched in vain, which took up a lot of my time, but I could not find it. But I do remember this scene, Megan's hair, Harry in the white polo shirt and everything. I remember this, and I didn't realize that that photo was from the um, Get Lit Poet program in LA. So I think the Sussexes surprised them, and it was just like all of a sudden, here these poets are like on the Zoom call with Harry and Meghan. So very cool surprise for them. All right, and this is a photo of Meghan and Harry. I don't know what the occasion was, but I think they look amazing. So, for that reason, I thought I would share it with you. That was it. That was it. I just purely shared this for the fun of it because I don't know. I think they look amazing. So, I figured it would be nice to share that today. And that's it. Just total eye candy, I suppose. There you go. Don't need to have a good reason. And I mean, I came across it when I was looking for that other photo of them doing the Zoom call, and I couldn't find it. And I'm just like, huh, I'll share that. So there you go. They are the hottest royal couple. And then this, the Sussexes. You may remember this Misan Harriman photos that he took the night of the One Young World. All right, so enough of those flashbacks. All right, so this one right here, Princess Eugenie quietly moves out of Sussex's house after alleged drama with the Cambridges. Now, look at the date there, November 22nd, 2022. And the writer at Cosmopolitan is still referring to them as the Cambridges, or whoever was the editor for this piece may have been the ones in But anyway, I'm going to accept it because I still call them the Cambridges. Princess Eugenie's new place on Palace grounds and has a let me see, romantic history, an AV romantic history. I'm not sure what that means. Has a oh, is it? It has a very. Looks like there's a typo there, which is interesting, seeing that this is a screenshot. But has a very romantic history. Well, that's Nottingham Cottage. That's where the Sussexes stayed when they were courting, and then eventually after they were married, until they were driven out of Kensington Palace by the mean girl and the egghead. Thank you, Elaine Parker. Thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Looks like Princess Eugenie and her family have quietly moved out of Frogmore Cottage and into Nottingham Cottage per the Express. Princess Eugenie and her husband, Jax Brookbank, I think he's a bartender, and their son August had been living at Frogmore Cottage since Meghan and Prince Harry, I'm sorry, Meghan, Princess Meghan and Prince Harry, who leased the home after the United left the United Kingdom. But apparently, Eugenie and Jack quietly relocated this past summer, choosing Nottingham Cottage as their new royal residence. FYI, they're also spending part of their time in Portugal for Jack's job. Jack's job. I think he's a bartender. Anyway, I love saying that. I shouldn't do that because he seems like a nice guy. But I think he's in like beverage sales, which to me sounds like a bartender. But I don't know. It's something to do with beverage. I know that much. Something to do with beverages and topless girls on pleasure boats. That Jack Brookbanks. So, here it says Nottingham Cottage is an ultra cozy 2 bedroom. It's situated on the Kensington Palace grounds and also has a connection to the Sussexes. In fact, it's where Harry lived while he and Meghan were dating and where he proposed. Meanwhile, Prince William and Kate Middleton also briefly lived in Nottingham Cottage with um, baby Prince George, while BB, that's interesting, while their palace apartment was being renovated. Princess Eugenie move comes after her family initially planned to relocate to Frogmore Cottage, that is from Frogmore Cottage to Adelaide Cottage, was dashed. Thanks to the fact that Prince William and Kate Middleton moved into Adelaide Cottage instead, which apparently led to some tension between the families. So apparently, Eugenie was trying to go to Adelaide Cottage and she wasn't allowed to because a senior royal with a higher position in the pecking order and his mean girl wife, in spite of the fact that the taxpayers spent a fortune preparing Anmer Hall for their lifetime residence. As a matter of fact, did you guys know that it has been alleged that there was a family leasing Anmer Hall, and they did not want to leave? They rather enjoyed it there, but they were kicked out, viciously kicked out, it's alleged, so that the Cambridges could move in. And then the Cambridges spent millions of dollars of taxpayer money on the driveway to remodel the kitchen and some other amenities that they needed, only for them to also maintain a place in Scotland. And also, they're maintaining Adelaide Cottage. So, make that make sense. And apparently, there seems to have been a little side eye here and there, a little smile and a wave. And so Eugenie moved out. Now, for the life of me, I can't speak of any occasion where I've actually seen any type of interaction between the mean girl and Beatrice and Eugenie. I have never seen an interaction between Beatrice and Eugenie and William. Why does it take my breath away when I have to say their names? I don't know. But I've never seen any interaction. Never. The Daily Mail spoke to sources close to the Yorks at the time who said that Princess Eugenie had been trying to secure Adelaide Cottage for when she moved out of Frogmore. They also added that before Andrew's most recent scandal, it was definitely a property he was also trying to secure for his daughter. Prior to the Cambridges moving in, the Daily Mail noted that there was no doubt. Let me see. Let me bring that down. There was no doubt they'd get the home due to Prince William being heir to the throne, which they did. So it was a little bit of a, shock, I suppose, to Eugenie. I mean, they've got so many places to call home, and yet they wanted the Adelaide Cottage. And mind you, this was around the time when so many people were speculating that the Cambridges were not living under the same roof. And so they had the mother of all excuses, and that, of course, was the idea that it had to do with convenience where the children in school were involved. If you want to believe that one, that was their excuse, is that it had something to do with the cheering. So, um, too bad for Eugenie. It was off to Frogmore. Now, Frogmore is not the most comfortable place to live. As you look at that image in the upper left hand corner, you see the very larger portion there. That is not where Frogmore is located. Frogmore is to the right side, I believe. You see that little cluster of buildings? It's a cottage, which means, of course, is originally a servant's quarters. And so, in that little cluster of buildings in the upper right, that's where Frogmore is located. It is very small. It is a cute little place, but like with so many places at Kensington Palace, it does not afford you a great deal of privacy. That is one of the big drawbacks of Kensington Palace, is that privacy is very rare. Now, over on the left side, where you see that little white looks like a bell tower. I think it's a clock tower. That courtyard there, that is not where they filmed The Crown. If you remember where Princess Diana lived, there was that little courtyard that you would drive into. That is not it. It looks very similar, so they did some good location scouting. I'm always looking at those details, but that certainly is not it. But good job finding something that looks very similar. And then also, if you take a look at that photo, if you see that dark black rectangle shape there, that is where the sunken garden is located, and that is where Princess Diana's statue with the children around her, that is where that is located. Okay, Kate Middleton, public snub to Princess Beatrice exposed. Uh, there were tears. So apparently, there seems to have been a lack of connection with the two princesses and Kate Middleton. I can just say they never seem to have gotten on. And it, again, it's all alleged. Who knows for sure? Nobody knows for certain. But it does give you pause to see that there seems to be little or no connection between the Cambridges and, of course, the two sisters, which is very strange. But I guess I don't know. It seems like William being their cousin and everything, that there should have been some kind of closeness, and maybe there was, and now it isn't, or maybe there is, and we just don't know. But it's also very strange. Well, well, that's that family. Uh, uh, so Compton Caligal, Frogmore has? Oh, you mean the where the Duke and Duchess of Windsor are buried, right? There is a burial ground. There's the Frogmore Royal Burial Ground. And there's also Queen Victoria's tomb, which has gone through a multi-million-dollar restoration. Where Queen Victoria's tomb is located, there is a lot of dampness in that area. There's a very high water table, and the land is so saturated that it's really not the healthiest place to live, if you ask me, because of the damp. But, I'm sure that would probably explain a lot of the area. So, but yeah, it is a burial ground for the royal family, and that is where the Duke and Duchess of Windsor are buried side by side. And so some people have implied that the Adelaide cottage for Prince Harry and Meghan, there are sizable homes that were available for the Sussexes. There are multiple homes that are located on the royal estates that they should have been given that to live in, and the Yorks, who didn't really have much of a role, was given Frogmore House, which is massive. Are they in Frogmore's house, are they in another house? But there's Frogmore House and there's Frogmore Cottage. The cottage, of course, is the smaller. The Frogmore House is like a 50-room mansion. So I don't know how Harry and Meghan found their way into that swamp infested area unless somebody was trying to send them a message, apparently. Okay, so moving on. Now, this situation happened. Um, British reporter pretending not to understand what private means. That is on brand for them, right? Says this. I don't know if this is a squatty or not, but anyway. So this reporter, who this is a screenshot from the video, who has a very pronounced English accent, who obviously works for one of the rags. He questioned the spokesperson for the White House, the official spokesperson, about this thing about the um, Biden's granddaughter's wedding being private or not private. Oh, thank you, Pinky. They live in Royal Lodge. I knew it was a different house. Um, Very good, Pinky Donaldson. I appreciate that. I knew it was something different, not the Frogmore House, but it's Royal Lodge. Like I said, there's a whole collection of places that the Sussexes could have lived without putting them in those servant quarters, which was actually 5 apartments that had to be refitted because they had separated the spaces. Then they had to go in there and remodel the place so that they can turn it into a single family home again. All of this was rushed while before Archie was born. So anyway, and again, thank you for that. Oh, thank you, Pinky. I appreciate the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. So, this exchange was, pretty ignorant. Um, how do I put this? Joe Biden is the president of the United States. Whether he falls up the steps, whether he falls down the steps, whether he falls off his bike, whether he forgets which direction is off the stage, whether he gets off the helicopter and follow the Secret Service into the bushes, I don't care what he does. He defeated that horrible Donald Trump. He won by more votes than anybody else in history. He won the electoral college. He won. He won. I don't care where he falls. I don't care if he starts from the Truman balcony and fall all the way over to that statue of that racist Andrew Jackson. I don't care if he rebounds off the north and south portico in the same fall. I don't care. He's the president of the United States. And as such, he can do anything he wants at the White House, as evident by Donald Trump having a funeral for his brother at the White House. His brother, Donald Trump's brother, had a funeral at the White House. One of those rare occasions. I don't even know that there ever has been a funeral at the White House, but Donald Trump brought the whole clan to the White House. I say that in terms of family, of course. He brought the whole clan to the White House for his brother's funeral. You could eat whatever you want. You could walk around in your boxer shorts and run back and forth with the German Shepherds. You can do whatever you want to. He's the president. Now, one thing I'm unanimous about, and that is that the president gets everything that comes with the job, even if they stole the election like Trump allegedly did. That's where he lives. Everything that goes on is at his call, at his pleasure. They serve at his pleasure. And so, because some right wing newspaper person wants to try to call him out or try to embarrass him, that just won't fly. He do whatever he wants to. He's the president. These are the beautiful photos that were taken by Vogue magazine. So let me give you a little background on the wedding gate. The Trump White House pretty much opened it up to every warlord and every flim flammer and every little hustler you can think of. And he had his brother's funeral there for whatever reason. He put his kids in there and gave them security clearances. If you want to notice something, there are absolutely what scandals have you heard from the White House involving Joe Biden? What scandals have you heard? Has there been one single person on staff that has had some kind of scandal that Fox News can't stop talking about? I'm not talking about Hunter. I don't care about Hunter and his computer. What scandal has involved the Bidens? What scandal has involved any of his staff? I can't think of any. But a wedding taking place at the White House, when the president says, yes, have the wedding here. I'm the president. It's my house for the next 2 years or whatever he got left. And then probably another 4 years after that, where he can fall into the fountain. He can trip on the way to the helicopter. He can go thundering down those steps and feet first, head first. I don't care. That's where he lives. Jill can buy new china if she wants. Whatever she wants to do. It's their call. So, these beautiful photos were taken, and they were taken for the Vogue magazine. So this wasn't a press call. This was a fashion shoot at the White House for the president's daughter. Every first lady, well, except for the mail order bride, every first lady has had their photos taken at the White House. They've been in the Vogue magazine from the White House. They're allowed to do that. And so this time it was Vogue magazine. This was not a press junket. This was not a press occasion. This was a photo shoot. And yes, Vogue magazine is part of the mainstream media. But again, that's the president's call. But I think that they suppose that because they have press credentials, that they have to be there for the wedding. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to be at the White House. The president decides that. So this was a moment for the Biden family, one of many. Wherever Joe Biden goes, whatever he wants to do, the the taxpayers have to pay for it. We have to. We do it for all presidents. There's over 10,000 people that support the first family. 10,000 may have increased more than that. When you think of all the Secret Service, all of the staff, all of the military escorts were around the world and such, there's about 10,000 people that support the first family. So that is what it is. And if they want to use the White House in any way they want to, that is Joe Biden's call. As Joe Biden said when he went to Florida, no one F's with a Biden. That's what Joe Biden said. Nobody, no one F's with a Biden. Period. And if you recall, Rick DeSantis, for some reason, he thought himself equal to Joe Biden, right? Take a look at those lecterns behind him. There's one little table there, which is for Rick DeSantis to use, and the other podium is for the POTUS, the President of the United States. And you could clearly hear him on that hot mic when he said, no one F's with a Biden. And there's Rick DeSantis, who effed around and found out you're not the star. Joe Biden is the star. You see how he's walking away with his little chubby hands? I don't know why is it does the back of his hands face forward. Isn't that strange? The back of his hands face forward, like he's dragging his hands along the ground or something. Very odd. Anyway, that's nothing to do with the wedding, but Joe Biden was the man of the moment, not Republican Governor Rick DeSantis, whatever. It was Joe Biden. That was his moment. And I love the fact that everybody there, I mean, look at the guy's shirt. The guy with the t-shirt, he's telling you everything you need to know about him and his temperament as a Floridian. That I dare not say it out loud. Connie Balmer, you going to bed? Oh, good night, Connie Balmer. Thank you so much for being here. But yeah, so nice shirt, right? Right. Anyway, that's what I feel about that. Now, after the court found the Scottish Parliament does not have the legislative competence to hold a legal independent vote without Westminster's consent, Nicola Sturgeon confirmed her intention to use the next UK-wide election as a de facto referendum. She announced that her party will hold an emergency conference in the coming weeks to establish exactly how that would work. So they had a Supreme Court vote or decision today saying that the Scottish Parliament did not have the right to put a referendum for independence without Westminster. So Nicola Sturgeon said, well, you know what? We got an election coming up, and we will use this election as a de facto referendum for that vote. So the independence referendum is not dead, no matter what the court said. Nicola Sturgeon intends for I think it's the Scottish National Party. They intend to move forward with this independence movement so that they can forever leave that United Kingdom union that they have with England and Wales. They want out, and Northern Ireland, of course. So it's not dead yet. So, as they say, Neiman Marcus, would you vote NSP, Scottish National Party, at the next general election if a victory for them could lead to that is Scotland leaving the UK. 50% says yes, 33% says no, and 16% said they'd rather not stay. I mean, no, or say they'd rather not say. So that means it's not dead yet. So um, that is something to look out for. Is that this ain't over yet? Nicholas said that she's looking forward to a referendum by November of 2023. So the movement continues. Remember, we're going to protest the coronation. Are you? Yellow t-shirt guy is going to be somewhere. So it's May the 6th, 2023. I had to get my plane ticket. I'm going. Oh man. Let's see. Juliet Holder Fowler says, oh, that's for someone else. I live in Germany for about 5 years. Wiesbaden, Mannheim. Permission. I don't think let me see. I don't think I spell all right. I love it. Hope to return someday. Oh, okay. So that was something not necessarily the same. Got it. Black Queen says, is Britain acting like bullies with Scotland, Ireland, and Wales, just like China with Hong Kong bullying dictators? Well, we all know what happened to Hong Kong. They had to give it up. So, and the cool thing is, they don't even have to worry about whether or not they can take the Britannia because it's already in Scotland. They could have the ceremony right there on the Britannia. Okay. Yes, Omarosa had a reception at the White House. She did. There was some big funk about that, I think. But yeah, Omarosa certainly did. Oh, the White House was like a frat house. It was literally like a frat house. Let me see. I read somewhere the House of Delusion is cheap to build but drafty to live in. Sounds like the House of Windsor. Definitely. The House of Windsor. They say that the place is really not all that comfortable, but people live in their individual apartments. All of those palaces have office and stuff, but they also have the family lives in the individual apartments, which are kind of shabby, traditionally decorated and everything, but you can make it as comfortable as you like. And then, of course, you have the ability to go and choose furniture from the royal collection. So, whatever you do, there's lots of fine pieces of furniture available, paintings, artwork. Like that time that the Cambridges invited the Obamas, and they had that painting with the slave in it. Remember that one? They invited the Obamas to the Kensington Palace, and they had to put a lamp in front of the painting because it said something slave. Okay, so again, you got the independent Scotland, independent Wales, and a united Ireland, which means that Northern Ireland will be absorbed into the greater Republic of Ireland someday. I guess the remaining royals aren't enough. They brought out the bling and the gilded carriage, but their subjects are still obsessed with the ones who left. Now, this illustration is a lot of fun. I love it because you got the Sussexes back there sipping champagne, and you have the very angry and the very sad looking Cambridges in the foreground um, sipping tea. Obviously, the Sussexes are living their best life. And no matter what you say or how you say it, everything about this state dinner they still keep bringing up the Sussexes. It's always Meghan and Harry, no matter what you say. And the derangers, I saw one deranger said, um, Meghan has never looked this classy or something like that, speaking about the Stepford wife. And, if you love your royal family so much, why do you constantly have this need to bring up Meghan and Harry? If you are so satisfied with them, why do you have to constantly make it about the Sussexes? They have moved on. Why is it this constant need to try to insert them into every conversation as though you're not satisfied with those two dull people, bedknobs and broomsticks? There's this constant comparison. Okay, and then there's this Banquet fit for a king. And the contrast that on the front page, giving it equal space, is Mick the Grinch. Mick the Grinch. Well, the union boss, Dennis, let me see, what does that say? Oh, I'm sorry, denies ruining Christmas. Oh, that's small, with new wave of 2 day strikes. So I guess the strikes are at or near Christmas, right? And Mick Lynch, not Grinch, he's the union head, right? The union chief. And so they seem to be a little tone deaf when it comes to the union. So he wants to send the message that they mean business, and it may be at Christmas time. However, the contrast that with the banquet fit for a king. So, in other words, they are celebrating and uplifting the royal family who has an abundance of everything. And instead, they are trying to make this a class warfare thing by villainizing the working class, because that's exactly what's going on. You're elevating and uplifting the aristocrats while you are criticizing and belittling working class people who want a living wage. Are they insane? And so I had to think about that. I'm like, is this the same people that think that it's a good idea for the queen to go viral for urging generosity and self sacrifice in front of an ornate gold piano? They literally plopped the queen in front of a gold piano. Oh, sorry about that. Shelly L, thank you so much for the super chat. They can get haunted furniture for their haunted apartments that smell of mothballs and decaying old people. Yeah. Listen, Shelly, if you find just the right piece of furniture, like something that the Queen Mother owned, let me tell you, there is something that dispenses sherry on one arm, and on the other arm, something that dispenses vodka. Uh, because I'm convinced that the Queen Mother had distillery and alcohol dispensers all over her apartment. So I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Oh man. All right. Thank you so much for the super chat, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. But yeah, so you got this contrast where they are I guess bashing the working class people and their want for a working income, a suitable income, a living wage, whereas the royal family live in all of this pomp and opulence. I'm going to tell you something else too. I looked at a couple of photos from that carriage ride to Buckingham Palace, and let me tell you what I noticed. That carriage ride, they didn't show any people on the street. There were a few people for sure, but there wasn't a big crowd. And so all the photos were very tight so that you wouldn't notice that there wasn't much of a crowd. So I'm just saying that is what I noticed from the photos that were in the media from that carriage procession, is that there wasn't much of a crowd. And there's the Queen wishing everyone a happy Christmas in front of a ornate gold piano. Let me see. There's a picture of her parents holding her as a baby. There's that photo from, I think it was Camilla and Charles's anniversary, maybe. And there's a photo of her father in his naval uniform. And, there's the Queen sitting at her writing desk, like she just wrote out her speech, even though Her Majesty took advantage of the teleprompters. But yeah, this is a happy Christmas. That is how they have celebrated Christmas. It's by making sure that Her Majesty had a beautiful ornate gold piano while some people went hungry. What a contrast. Yes, Mick Grinch in comparison, I'll take Mick Grinch. God save the people. I couldn't have put it better. And while the president of South Africa is there, let us be reminded of the Queen Elizabeth II, who owned past tense, the largest clear-cut diamond in the world. Let me see. Known as the Great Star of Africa, the 530-carat gem was mined in South Africa back in 1905. It was stolen from South Africa. It has an estimated worth of $400 million. Now, that, of course, is the diamond that is in the scepter of the crown jewels, along with several other pieces. I think there's one on the front of that crown, as well as the brooch that the Queen has worn, called the Granny Chips. That is what happened to the world's largest diamond. So, if we can get a quote from our dear friend Stacey Solomon, who once said,
just don't get it. I don't get any of it.
What do you mean? You don't get what?
I don't get why we're so obsessed with these humans that are exactly the same. Like, it could be us four sitting there. I just don't get it.
But are you talking about what you mean as royals, or as like Kim Kardashian? Because for me, they're becoming celebrities.
Well, to me, that's all they are.
The Queen
is their celebrity.
For me, is brilliant.
I love the Queen.
No, duty, responsibility.
She's always worked really hard, hasn't
I would
she?
work hard if the whole country paid for me to have like 12 houses and work really hard.
They don't pay for all of the houses, but
just a few.
I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I'd work hard too if they paid me a lot of money. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get any of it. What don't you get? I'd work hard too if they paid me a lot of money. Oh man, that never gets old. That never ever gets old to me.
I just don't get it. I don't get any of it.
That never gets. I love her. I'm going to build a shrine to her later. Okay, so right here, is the British press a force for good or bad? Well, 21% of voters says good. 54% says bad. And of course, in the middle, I don't know. Conservative voters, 51%, which is interesting. Labor voters say 58%. And liberal Democrat voters say 55%. So, I think these numbers are accurate, maybe even a little low. But again, you got all those people who just don't want to decide one way or the other. And so they just won't say. I love Owen Jones. Mentioned about Lord Nappy Head father friendship with Adolf Hitler, and he had receipts. They even called immigrants rats. Shocking. Really? Was that today? Because I follow him and I watch his podcast or live stream or whatever. But yeah, he's pretty cool. Big Mama, hey Big Mama Baron, did you notice Camilla wouldn't give up her spot besides Charles at the banquet? I did not know that. I didn't see any of it. And of course, the few photos that I've seen was, Grin and Kate, because they want to put her on the pedestal as the incredible English Rose. So, no, Big Mama, that's the only thing I saw was just pictures of Grin and Kate. Although I do have a couple of photos coming up. So, anyway, thank you, Big Mama, and happy Thanksgiving to you. Hey, Church Nelly. Trust in the written press. Well, all the way at the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The sixth from the last country that have trust in written press is the United Kingdom. All the way down there, 6 from the bottom. Only outdone by Bulgaria, what is that? North Macedonia, Serbia, Cyprus, and Bosnia Herzegovina. Those are the only ones where there's less trust in the press. But if you look at the United Kingdom, there's very few people who say they don't know. And this is like the green runs right into the gray. And the only other place you see that is in Chechnya. Those are the, and up there at the top, Norway and Switzerland, even though there they have a greater trust for their press. But down here, you can see there is no gray area for the United Kingdom. Again, it is the 6th from the bottom position. And that is how many people in the United Kingdom don't trust the written press. And, I have to say, for that figure, there's a lot of people who don't trust them. But if they are being racist or nationalist or any other ism or ist, then they will tend to side with them without even believing it to be true, so long as it maintains that negative narrative that seems to be appropriate. And here, this is that graph that I have shared with you guys so many times. And I heard Michael on the Tisky Sour, the Navarra Media. Today he mentioned this, not the exact same numbers, but he was saying that most of the journalists went to a fine school. Most of the editors went to a very fine school. And for people who have the lower socioeconomic backgrounds, that is a minority when it comes to who's reporting and who's editing the news. Now, this is a little off the beaten trail, but there is a NFL owner, president in this photo, who was trying to block those black kids from going to school. Now, this isn't Little Rock. This is, oh my God, I forgot which town this was. But anyway, Jerry Jones of the Dallas Cowboys, he's in this photo. He's all the way in the back there with that horizontal stripe on his shirt. Not in the front, but in the back there. You could just see his face clearly. And I don't know whether he has reformed himself. I don't know what his opinion about black people is today. The truth is, I didn't even know who he was. But I saw this photo, not this photo, this photo. I saw this photo and I'm like, wow. So that is an NFL owner, president, who was trying to block the black kids from going to school back in the 50s. He's 80 years old now, by the way. And as you can see in front of news cameras and everything else, it just did not matter to him that these kids wanted the same thing out of life that he wanted. Again, I don't know whether he's changed his ways. I don't know if he's made amends for his, behavior back in those days. I'm not here to judge him because I really don't know anything about him. But I just wanted to share this with you, and you can see clearly that is him. The eyes, the mouth open like he's soft in the head. He can't close his mouth because he kind of soft in the head. That's him. That's him. Now at the time, of course, he wasn't living in Texas, but this just goes to show that sometimes a tiger never changes his stripe. A leopard never changes his spots. Now, I'm not saying that he hasn't changed. I'm just saying this is who he was in the past. But as they say, be who you are, not who you were. So that was just very interesting to me. So I decided I would share it. I'm like, wow, that's an NFL owner, huh? He's worth about $16 billion right now. So for all he's achieved in life, being the kind of person that he is, he's worth 16 billion. That's what it be, $16 billion today. Well, I see most of y'all say he hasn't changed. Oh man, I'm gonna have to do some homework because I don't know anything about him. I've seen players hoisting them up in the air and dancing around and celebrating their victories and stuff like that. And yes, there are some people who say that Major League Football is like the new plantation. It is one of many examples of how the plantations are still up and running. But again, I don't know a whole lot about them. Hey, B10, I'm so glad you're here. Well, yeah. And for what it's worth, there's a lot of people that just won't change, can't change, and will never change. Now, I thought that this occasion was to celebrate the king and queen. Princess of Wales shines. I know they wanted to say outshine so bad. And the Queen Mary lover's knot tiara, the one that Princess Diana used to wear. God, that makes me so sad. Which also once belonged to Diana, as she and William arrived for King Charles I's state banquet at Buckingham Palace. Kate dazzle, Kate shines, Kate this, Kate that, whatever. Whatever. But this was supposed to be her moment. Now, this is not a photo from that night, but this was supposed to be her moment. This was supposed to be a moment for Queen Camilla to go from being a side piece and a disgrace, along with her husband, of course. As far as I'm concerned, they're both a side piece and a disgrace to each other. I mean, they were both married while they had an affair, right? So anyway, the royal booty calls were supposed you royal booty calls were supposed to celebrate that night. However, Kate shows up wearing Princess Diana's lover's knot tiara. Well, for Diana, it was kind of weird that she was wearing the lover's knot tiara, but on Kate, it's a lover's certainly not tiara, not lover's knot, but lover's certainly not tiara. Now, here's what's odd to me. So, if you remember, there was this long face. I didn't say horse. I just said long face. There was such a long face and those forced tears because she was so sad because of all the women at this shelter that was abused. Okay, that would seem kind of odd seeing what you and your future husband put Princess Diana through. Isn't it odd that she would have the nerves to show up at a shelter for abused women, considering her background, considering where she came from, considering what all that plotting and scheming by her and Charles had put Diana through? She had the nerves to show up at a battered women's shelter, abused women's shelter. Duchess of Cornwall breaks down in tears after hearing women's stories of domestic abuse. Um, the reason why I bring this up is because they say that Camilla and some of the other people at the state dinner are supposed to go to a women's shelter for some, in other words, to make it look like they're rich, but they care. They're royals, but they care. They're not bringing anything with them, but they care. So she's still maintaining this farce about worrying about women that have been abused or battered or whatever. Um, Maybe she's trying to pay it forward. I don't know, but that is what they say, is that she's gonna go with a few other. Uh, I guess I forgot who else was on the list, but yeah, that's what she's supposed to do. So uh, I think it's kind of a farce, but who am I to say? Let me see. Camilla wears. Huh. Okay. So anyway, that's enough of that irony. And let me see. Oh, there we go. And apparently Camilla is supposed to be paying tribute too. They always say that Camilla is paying tribute to someone. Uh-oh. You're in their DMs. We're in let me see. You're in their DMs. We're in them Tampax sparks fury for something that they said about their product, and people find it offensive. Tweets that was seemingly inspired by Charles. Is that from today? Oh, never mind. But yeah, apparently they had some tweets that seemed to play on that. Shelly L says, once again, that room looks like it smells of Ben Gay and Old Spice. Don't forget my all-time favorite, mothballs. I'm kind of convinced that Camilla's hair probably has a telltale mothball smell. Let me see. Okay. You guys, I have resisted. I have resisted buying a what do you call those things? An air fryer. I have resisted that because I'm afraid that if I get one, I'm going to become dependent on it. So I don't think I'm going to get one. I think that if I'm going to have something like that, that I should go through more trouble, and that way I won't, use one as much. But I've never had one. Oh my God, I'm so tempted. Everybody who has one loves them. And I went to Costco today, but I didn't get one. I didn't even go and look at it. But oh boy, I'm just like, I'm thinking about it though. But I shouldn't. But they say you cook with like a teaspoon or tablespoon of oil and it does the rest. It's like magic. I'm like, really? Oh, anyway, Shelly L, thank you again for the super chat, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. So yeah, I think I'm gonna hold a what? That nice, huh? Well, a long time ago, I almost got one, but I'm just like, it takes up too much counter space. And I don't like a lot of stuff on the counter, so I'm gonna have to think about it. Let me see. Does not have a conscious, then it doesn't affect them what they do to other people. Corrupt Chucky doll and his support queen, emotional support queen consort have no conscience. You know, Michael Miller, I agree that they don't seem to have much of a conscience. I think that they get off on the stuff that they do to other people, and I think that they have a good laugh about it, like they did with those indigenous people, where Camilla couldn't stop laughing. So I think you're right about that. Thank you for your comment, but I do think that they seem to get off on that stuff. Really? I don't know, you guys. I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna think about it. It's Black Friday, so maybe, just maybe, I might get one. But I mean, it's like I got a couple of things that I don't, you know, I have a pizza pizzazz, and that cooks in 20 minutes. But I would love to. Everybody has an air fryer, but me. Everyone has an air fryer, but me. But I tell you what, guys, I may get myself one this weekend, and I'll let you know how it works out. Um, but yeah, I'm thinking about it. Wow. Huh. Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I have to go, and you know what? They have gotten expensive too because they're so popular. Like the pizza pizzazz, I bought one for like $30 years ago. Now they cost like 70 and $80. So I'm gonna think about it. We'll see how it goes. Not a Duchess. So at this event, let me see. Okay, Kids Indoor don't own one. I don't know. I mean, let me think about it. I'm gonna watch some videos and see if I'm sold on it. But right, Beverly McCaskill, it takes up a lot of space. You know, it's like those convection ovens. It takes a lot of space. My pizza pizzazz, I usually, excuse me, I'll leave it out for a couple days. And then when I put it away, I may not use it for a month. What's the cleanup like for the pizza? I mean, for the air fryer, is it easy to clean it? I mean, like when I'm done with it, right? Because I got to make some space in the cabinet for it because I cannot have that sitting on the counter. It's just too big. So when I'm done with it, is it easy to clean it and just put it away? Uh Kathy, I'm gonna get it myself. I mean, I'm gonna get that myself. I just got to make sure that I want it. That's the thing. I was thinking about it today when I was on my way to the Costco, and I'm just like, should I go over there and take a look? But yeah, I'm not sold on it because it's big and I know it takes up a lot of counter space. And I don't have a lot of counter space, so I don't know if I want that taking up so much space. So I'm gonna look at some videos and do some let me see. What? What? Really? So is that life changing, huh? Well, uh That life-changing. That's interesting. Let me see. And I didn't mean to kick off a conversation, but since we're here, the cleanup is so much easier than doing dishes. Is that right? Uh, what's open tomorrow? What's open tomorrow? Cause I got a couple of things that I would cook that I don't know if you guys ever used the pizza pizzazz, but I used the pizza pizzazz. But I'm just thinking, as nice as that is probably so much better with the um, with the other thing. I may go get one this weekend. That's what I'm gonna do. What's that? I never bought one. My friend has it and loves it. I saw the Costco one and I thought, no way, too big, and I'm scared of the. They have a issue with fires. Really? Okay. Yeah, wait for the Black Friday. Oh, that's what I do. And I'm not going to get one before Friday, but I'm going to get one this weekend. Okay, so I can make healthy stuff with it too, right? Because it dehydrates stuff. What? Am I like the only person? All right, I want one. I'm gonna get myself one this weekend. I promise I am. Let me see. Let me see. So, Baron, you want a big one that after use you can just wash it and put it away. Well, I mean, like the pizza pizzazz, I'll probably leave it on the counter for a couple of days and then I'll probably put it away until I'm ready to use it again. I've never had the George Foreman, Kate, Beverly McCaskill. I never had the George Foreman. Well, I mean, okay. I'm gonna see if I can find one that is not gigantic, but I do want to get one, and it's I okay. Now let me see. Baron Cuisinart is a very great brand for it. You will be hooked. Food is less oily. Okay, that's good. Can you cook bacon? If you say bacon, I'm out the door in 5 minutes. If you say bacon, I am out the door in 5 minutes. Okay, don't get the insignia or the magic chef. Okay, got it. Yes, I'm going to do that too. I'm going to do that too. That's on my list. What? Shut the front door. What? And it will be crispy? Now, see, this is what's crazy. My aunt was going to get one for me, and I told her no because I was thinking about how much counter space I would lose. And I told her no. Um, I don't know. I should just tell her to get me one for Christmas. She will. But I don't want to wait that long. I want to get it soon. I am going to get one soon. Let me see. Adrian says, I like the fact the stove isn't irrelevant, especially in the summer, is irrelevant in the summer, and the food cooks faster, and the seasoning you can taste even if it's frozen. I didn't think about that. You can cook from frozen to. I didn't think about that. Wow. Okay, you guys, I am sold. I am going to so get me one. Bacon and wings. Oh. Hey, can you wrap the wings in bacon? All right, all right, all right. I am going to get one. I am definitely going to get one, and I will let you guys know how much I love it. Let me see. Let me see. Inside rubber material when heated is bad for your health. I'm guessing it's made out of silicone, though. It's probably made out of silicone. And as for that, I mean, everything we eat is bad for us, so I'm not worried about that. But thank you for that reminder, though. Uh, okay, you guys are really. I'm trying to think what's open. I'm not going to go tonight, and I probably won't do it tomorrow. But I am definitely going to get one. I am sold. I can't believe how you guys have come alive because I said air fryer. Air fryer. I got a slow cooker. I got a slow cooker. I've made the what is that? The the oh gosh, I forgot what meat I used. I think I used oxtails and yeah, I cooked oxtails and something else. I cooked oxtails and something else where you braise it in the skillet first, and you like put wine on it, and season it, and then and anyway, and then after you braise it, it goes into the slow cooker with some onions and green peppers, or whatever, bell peppers. I've cooked that before, but it's been a long time since I cooked it. But oh my God, was that good! Okay, you guys, I am gonna have to do that then because I didn't know. I mean, I hadn't really talked to anybody about it, but I know people who say, "Oh yeah, I love my air fryer," but I didn't really, all I could think of is how much counter space I'd lose, but it might be worth it. I guess if I get one, I get a black one with the silver so it matches my coffee maker. And since my coffee maker is a Cuisinart, I'll just do the Cuisinart then. Let me see. Let me check right now. Uh, because we can talk about this again Friday, and I'll let you know how I like it. Now, how you spell Cuisinart? Isn't that a weird spelling? Cuisinart, Cuisinart, Cuisinart air fryer. Okay, Cuisinart air fryer. Huh. My God, that thing is huge. This thing is huge. I don't want that. This thing is huge. I'd have to take a wall out to use that thing. Oh my God. I'm looking at all the food and stuff that, let me see. I definitely want the Cuisinart. I don't want any off brand. I'm sure Cuisinart's got one that's smaller. This is like the Cuisinart toaster. I don't want the, though, that thing is huge. I definitely don't want that one. This thing is huge. It looks like a dishwasher. Woo, that thing is huge. Will my counter support this? I'm gonna get the smallest one they have. That's Thank you, Josephine Elliott. Thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for being here on Royal Sussex. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna look at this when I get done because I got some research to do. See, and that's what I hate about having so many choices. When you got so many choices, oh, Hamilton Beach makes one. Okay, I'm gonna look at that later. But I could probably get it as soon as Friday. So maybe I'll do that. Okay, okay. So where was I? Not a duchess. The very angry. Oh, let me see here. Church Nelly says start small. Let me see. Shelly L says you guys have to try bacon wrapped dates stuffed with pepper jack cheese cooked in the air fryer. Tastes like bacon candy. Ooh, I bet that's good. Huh. Remind me to do that. And thank you again for the super chat. Oh well. So yes, poor what's her name? Sophie. Poor Sophie Wessex. Poor Sophie Wessex is not a duchess, although she tried to save face. As you can see, out of everybody at the state dinner, she was the only one that wasn't smiling. And of course, don't forget, it's not all bad news for her because the Queen left her that wonderful gift, that custom hat that is filled with good luck charms. In other words, some of her corgi poop. Um, some of her corgi poop, alleged. Uh, And lastly, this is the last one, you guys. Robert Jobson, how monstrous of this pampered pair, Harry and Meghan, to accept a major award from the Robert F. Kennedy Human Rights Organization for saying the royal family is racist, writes A.N. Wilson via Daily Mail. Well, let me put it to you like this. Harry and Meghan deserve this award. It is not because they're calling out the royal family. It was simply said, and you guys already know this, so I know I'm preaching to the choir, but it was simply said by Carrie Kennedy that she understood that by giving them this award, that there would be problems because they called out the royal family. She's not giving them this award because of the royal family. So they're trying to start this war between the Kennedys and the Windsors, and they want to do this so that they could try and make the Sussexes look bad. But the truth is, things are not going well for the Cambridges. Is going to be a very dull affair when they go to Boston, and to try to drum up interest by creating this some type of competition or whatever between the two of them, or to pit one against the other. It's the only way that they can gain any type of attention for the Cambridges, because no one is interested and no one cares that they are going to be in Boston. And it's like a lackluster non-event. They are there to get money while people are suffering in the UK, while people are depending on food banks, and while people are trying to figure out how they're going to afford energy for the winter months. They are having lavish banquets at the Buckingham Palace. They are traveling the world as per usual. They are cutting ribbons and giving smiles and waves while people are going hungry. And the only thing that they can do to distract from that is to focus on Robert F. Kennedy. People love the Kennedys no matter what they say. People love the Sussexes no matter what they say. So this isn't going to work. Harry and Meghan are the real stars of that family. They were the only thing that was going good for that family since Princess Diana died. Other than that, it has been very dull. Even someone wrote a story at the time when the Cambridges were married and how dull the entire thing was. And that had nothing to do with Harry and Meghan. Harry and Meghan's wedding was record breaking. There hadn't been anything as big as that since Princess Diana married. And of course, everybody in the world celebrated. It elevated them to superstardom. And that just seemed to be troubling for the rest of the family. They were bothered by that because they're so lackluster, and the spare is not allowed to outshine the heir. And that's exactly what was going on. Harry has always been so much greater than his brother, so much greater than the rest of that family. He has the heart, the spirit, and people love him as they loved his mother. His mother was the real princess. His mother was the real queen in the family. The queen was there and she did her duty, but she didn't really shine like Princess Diana. That was just something she didn't have. She didn't garner that kind of excitement. People were excited because they were royals, but they were never excited for her. You know, people are excited for Prince Harry. People are excited for Princess Meghan. They want to be with them. They want to celebrate the moments with them. But you don't get that with the other ones. The other ones is just like something to do instead of someplace to be, instead of someone to know. They're just something to do. The Sussexes are somebody you want to know better, and you want to be around them, and you want to celebrate with them and watch them grow and watch them do great things for other people. But you just don't have that with the rest of the family. There's no there. And with all the years, over 70 years, Charles has been on this earth, and still he's a big fat nobody. The only way that he can ever take center stage is just wait, mark the passage of time, and everything will come his way, which is pretty much what he was born to do. But he hasn't evolved. And as for this one, well, I have to take my hat off to her because it just goes to show the world's oldest profession. Oh well, it just goes to show what persist. It just goes to show what happens when you're persistent. That's what I'm trying to. It just goes to show what happens when you're persistent. I think that's what I mean. When you when you stick with it, that's what it is. It just shows what happens when you. Woo! That's what I'm trying to say. It just shows what. Ooh, never mind. I can't really articulate what I'm trying to say right now, but it just goes. Oh man, you know what I'm trying to say. When you stick with it, that just goes to show what can happen for you when you know what you're doing, when you handling your business. So hats off to her for sticking around. Like the Great Smoky Mountains, like the River Thames, she just keeps flowing or keeps standing or whatever. And it's not even clear exactly how old she is, but she's been there. She's been handling her business, and she got everything she wanted out of life. She has secured the future for her children that are not his, I suppose. But yeah, so um okay, I'm done with her. Woo! It's hard not to say the inappropriate stuff when I think about her for some reason. It is very difficult. Um and so there is Robert Jobson drinking from a champagne flute, I suppose that is. But there's Robert Jobson drinking from a champagne flute and in the company of King Charles. And it just goes to show that there seems to be a conflict of interest. So while you have a White House reporter who is probably a royalist who is questioning the president of the United States ethics about having a wedding at the White House and not inviting the press corps, or you could have the king Moneybags, old King Moneybags, hanging around and fraternizing with the press. And of course, they don't say anything about that. And if anybody is monstrous, I say Robert Jobson is monstrous. I don't think it was very kind of him to stand so close to poor Omid Scobie. Everybody knows that Robert Jobson's gravitational pull is greater than that of the moon. So poor Omid Scobie, as much as he's trying to steady himself, is being pulled in closer and closer because Robert Jobson is so large, he has his own gravitational field. Robert Jobson is like the black hole in outer space. Not even light escapes. Not a single crumb escapes. So, and how much you want to bet that whenever Robert Jobson travels with the royals, he always has his air fryer in his suitcase. He always packs his air fryer because he never knows when he's going to need it. So, anyway, that's it, you guys. I am done for today. Thank you so much for joining us here on Royal Sussex. Thank you for the very generous super chats and super stickers. And as always, our deepest love and affection goes out to our Queen of Hearts and our Queen of Everything for those wonderful children, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, and of course, those beautiful grandchildren, Archie and Lily Beth Diana. Thank you, Mama Doria. And thank you, Queen Diana. All right. And so we are going to need a last word of the day. Yes, they're always looking for a free meal and a free handout and dancing and sweating profusely and sweating and sweating some more. They always do that. Moonface, he does. It reminds me of those moon cookies, those moon pie cookies. So, oh man. All right, you guys, I think we're done. Thank you so much. And I will see y'all. And probably Friday after I do my research, we can have a conversation. Well, not Friday, maybe Saturday. Saturday after I do my research, we can have a conversation about this air fryer thing because you guys have got me intrigued now because I've thought about it, but I'm going to look. And if it doesn't take up too much counter space, then I want to join the club of air fryers too, because you guys have been having all this fun without me. And I want to join the party too. Yes, of course he does. He packs his air fryer. Do you think where is he at? Do you think this man leaves town without he has an air fryer in every hotel room? Yeah, as soon as he walks in the room, he just dumps a bag of French fries chips inside the air fryer, and then he can lay down. Yep. So I'm pretty sure of it. All right, happy Thanksgiving, you guys. And Marcy Foreman has the last word. Happy gobble gobble to you and all the squatties and mods. Thank you so much, Marcy Foreman. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, and thank you for the lovely last word of the day. Oh, thank you, Adrian Burrow. I am enjoying today. I was late, but I'm so glad that I did go ahead and do it today. So, yep, it's going to be great. Thank you, guys. Love you all so much, and I will see you all tomorrow. Let me get this big hog head off this screen.
What do you mean? You don't get what?
I don't get why we're so obsessed with these humans that are exactly the same. Like, it could be us four sitting there. I just don't get it.
But are you talking about What, you mean as royals? Or
Yeah.
as, like, Kim Kardashian? Because for me, they're becoming celebrities.
Well, yeah, to me, that's all they are.
The Queen
is their celebrity.
for me, is brilliant.
I
For
love the
what?
Queen.
No,
For duty, responsibility,
She's always
figurehead.
worked really hard,
But
hasn't
I would
she?
work hard if the whole country paid for me to have like 12 houses and work really
No,
hard.
they don't pay for all of the houses. But,
Just a few.
Uh-oh, that was a mistake. Sorry. No bad energy.